Are you looking for true personal freedom? The freedom to design a life you truly desire? Then you're absolutely in the right place. True personal freedom comes from when you take 100% responsibility and control of your money and your mind. Here you're going to learn ideas, tips, and wisdom that's going to help you bridge the gap from where you are now to your dream life in the future. My name is Randy Wilson, and welcome to the Rich Mind Podcast. Hello, and welcome back to the Rich Mind Podcast. And in today's episode, I might be challenging a few of your beliefs, a few of your stories. Might be a little bit of some things might come to the surface, which is great because that's the idea. Once you are able to then have the feelings get stirred up inside of you, you can then learn how to take control of them. And the idea today, the challenge that I want to put out there is the idea that we've all been, I say all, but a lot of us have been brought up with, is that you need to have a college degree in order to be successful. And today I want to give my opinion and give you a little bit more of what's been my experience. And, like I said, maybe challenge some of the beliefs that you have about that topic or that idea, especially as as of this recording, we are moving into the spring of 2023, which means that there are going to be folks leaving the current school year. And then in just a few short months, we're going to be potentially going back to school. So maybe this will be a discussion that will maybe challenge some of the ideas that you've got going on. So let me start with a little bit of a backstory for myself, because I will admit that I fell into the idea, the word that is coming to my mind to use right now, but the trap of thinking that I had to have a college degree in order to be, let's call it a CEO or a business owner or a successful business owner. That's what I thought that I needed to have. So what had transpired to have me have that belief, and what actually happened to make me challenge that idea, and how I've been able to pivot and move forward, was that back in 2007, so back around the time when the last financial issues that were very similar to what's going on today, my company decided to close my store, my location, where I had spent all of my time, all of my effort, all of my blood, sweat, and tears was put into building their business to a level that unfortunately wasn't successful enough. And they made the decision that they were going to pull the plug on me and on that location and on that store. And from that, their decision of doing that made me start to question everything. Why? I didn't understand. I understood that my numbers of my business as far as my location, but I didn't understand business at a larger level. I started to then read into, go to the library, get the books, listen to whatever I could find on business, on making profit, on income statements, balance sheets, taxes, all of the things that are required to become a successful business owner. I began to study as rapidly as I possibly could. And I also, at that moment, because this is what happened, and this is the kind of the key part of the story that I really want to have you hear me say today. Back then, the only thought that I could think of that I needed to go do was to go back to school. I thought that I needed to go get a degree, a business degree, in order to become a CEO or that type of level in a company. I thought that was the only way to do it. So that's exactly what I did. I enrolled into the local college and I began going back to school. I began racking up the debt just like everybody does, because I wasn't paying it out of my pocket to go to school. The books were astronomical. The trips to and from campus were excruciating because I was working at the time. It was awful. But that was what my belief systems and what my stories, based on my upbringing, had told me that I needed to do. I actually called a meeting with the sitting CEO of the company that I was working at. I wanted to pick his brain as far as how, number one, how he got to where he was, but then also try to get some more insights as far as where I could, obviously improve, try to get better. And I remember in that meeting, one term that I hear about now that this might be the first time you've ever heard of this, and I would encourage you to investigate what this means. But EBITDA. So earnings before interest, taxes, appreciation. Uh, I believe this is exactly how it goes. So there again, I'm showing that I might not exactly know exactly what it is, but the point is it's a tax uh, conversation that we had. I had never heard of that term before, and he shared EBITDA with me, which made me go study what in the world is EBITDA. So, anyways, it's basically the earnings of the company and how it's reported on taxes. So, with that said, when I left that meeting, it dawned on me that why do I feel like I need to go get a degree in order to run somebody else's business? It dawned on me that this gentleman, as smart as he might have been, was still at the end of the day working and grinding, building somebody else's business, even at that level, at the level of CEO. And the thought came to me, why can't I be my own CEO? Why do I need to build somebody else's business? Why can't I take what I'm learning and apply them in ways where I can then begin to build my business and my things, right? For me and my family. And so that's exactly what I did. Is I took that meeting, or I had that meeting, and I decided literally almost in that moment. I was what was I? Just a couple of credits short of finishing my junior year. I was already accepted into the business college. I mean, I was on pace. I was terrible in school, but at the same time, I was buckling down and I was doing the best I could. I was not getting A's by any means, but I was doing okay. But I almost instantaneously of having that idea, having that thought, I pivoted and I changed. I dropped out of school. Again, that was the second time I've dropped out of school and I've never gone back. I'm still actually paying some of that debt literally today as we speak, uh, which is a whole nother story. And we'll probably have that discussion in a future podcast. But the idea and what I want to challenge you with today is the idea and the belief that you have to go to school to get a degree in order to run and start and operate your own business. I'm here to argue that that may not be the case. I took what I was learning and I dove into learning how to open and operate an e-commerce business is what I dove into. It made the most sense. It clicked with how my brain operated as far as the way I thought through processes and systems and inventory. It just really resonated really well with me. And I was able to take that energy and effort that I was putting into school and redirect it into building my business, which then allowed me to benefit from all those activities, from the profits that I was making for me and my family. I was then beginning to get the tax benefits. I was beginning to take those profits and then invest them in other things. It's a totally different mindset shift. But that's what I want to encourage you today is to think through whether or not going to school to get a degree is the best route for you, because it may not be. If you're being fed that that is the only way, I will once again tell you that that is not necessarily the truth. So hopefully that serves you today. Think through where you are in whether you're an adult, whether you're a student age, it doesn't matter. I went back to school. I was in my mid to late 30s when I made this decision. And then I quit again. So age doesn't matter. But I just wanted to challenge you with thinking that school is the only secret in terms of building a business. Now, you do need to get educated. You need to find mentors. You need to find folks that are doing what you want to do. Find people that have built a business and then model after them. Do what they do, act like they act, and start becoming that type of an individual. And you will soon quickly see how your outside world, based on a few actions and a few mindset shifts, will begin to change radically. So go out there, challenge those beliefs, challenge those limiting stories, think through whether or not school is the best answer for you. And if it is, fantastic. And if it's not, and if there's anything that I can do to help you in that thought process or trying to figure out what's going to be best, feel free to reach out to me and I'd be more than happy to try to help wherever I can. So go out there, have a fantastic day. I look forward to talking to you very soon on the next episode. Until then, bye now. Thank you for joining me on the Rich Mind Podcast. I hope you found a ton of value in this episode. If so, I'd really appreciate a 5-star review, and you can also share it with your family and friends. And as my mentor Jim Rohn shared with me, in order to have more, you must first become more. And in order to become more, you must work harder on yourself than you do on your job. So go out there today and work harder on yourself to become more and build the life of your dreams. Until next time, my friends.